they can do anything a man can do. 2, they are delicate.
Well, women can do anything a man can do, say for passing Navy SEAL training, right? Generally, women can do anything a man can do, right? But, ladies, that's not what she's actually driving at. I'm all for equality and egalitarian society. I would even like to have co ed sports. Otherwise, would be sexist, ladies. We should allow you to compete with the men. You should be able to do that so you can see what it's like. You're going to have some humility when that happens, right? It is going to be tough, but I want you to uh, drive through it because it's so entertaining when you beat the men at MMA. We've seen it already, right? And Fedor would argue that in the case of MMA, that is too brutal to have men fight women. And I would agree. He is right generally. Maybe we should be soft with them when it comes to MMA, right? But certainly in the same weight category, I would give them a chance, all right? So what she means is that women are trying to be masculine and to take the role of the man when it comes to uh, what to do in a critical situation. It usually falls to the man to decide for the family in a crisis what to do, what his family should do, right? But when women want to compete with the man in a crisis, it becomes a pissing contest about what to do in a crisis, right? Well, maybe time is short. You can't have an argument and a pissing contest about what to do in a crisis, right? You should leave it to your man, ladies. Have a little humility in a crisis, right? Your gender role was actually to keep your man and your family together, right? Keep your family together, regard uh, how hard and difficult that is with the distractions of the world, right? This person wants your girl to be famous. This guy wants to bone your girl, right? Look, you have to keep your family together, ladies. All right? So and so wants to make your child famous for them. No, keep your family together. Regard family continuity. That's why you have 1,000 genders today. You know, women lack accountability for their gender role. They drop the ball on their gender role to keep their family together, right? And why did they do that? Because of their sexual narcissism and their wealth narcissism, right? In sociology, any woman can be bought on the street. Take a couple walking down the street and approach with a random stranger who offers your girl money to date him instead. Well, that makes your relationship weak. It exposes the truth that any girl can be bought. All these women seem to have a price, right? Even the government wants to indoctrinate your girl so that she can be bought. So she cares more about capitalism than keeping her family together. If they get a piece of the pie when she goes for child support, right? They like to get their hands on the destruction of your family as the government, right? A foreign power might want to give you gay propaganda as asymmetric warfare to make all Americans gay. That's why you have Gay Pride Month. But what also creates asymmetric warfare for depopulation like that? The masculine feminist, right? The 4B movement, right? Women denying men fatherhood in a sexist anti-male culture and society, all right? Instead of a constitutional republic, the United States became a plutocratic corporate gynocracy. That means it's ran by the rich, corrupted by corporations, and actually a misandrous anti-male government. How do you know it's anti-male? Well, the men go die as useless war fodder for the war machine, right? When they turn 18, the men are marginalized. They don't send the women to go die. No, they send the men to go die because they're sexist, right? You can tell it's sexist because they cage the males for mating. Even if the world graph is headed for population collapse, every government is caging their males for mating, and you don't see that in the rest of nature. You don't see antelope or gazelle or male giraffe or hippos getting put in a cage for hopping on the female. No, humans must be weird. We have a torture fetish. We like to cage our males for trying to procreate, right? Isn't that a type of asymmetric warfare as well, to depopulate a nation, right? You want to put a lid on that, people making babies, evidently, as a sexist gynocracy, right? And that's the United States. That is every country around the world. They're all trying to virtue signal that they're moral and good because they cage their males for mating, right? They're coddling the masculine feminist who is greedy for power. That's their real audience, right? Women buy 80% of consumer goods, right? Their real audience is women who are vindictive, who are seething about all the men that weren't good enough for them, right? So that's where we're at today. All these women worldwide are too smug and pretentious as narcissists to pass the vetting test to be first queen of the continent. They don't know what's going on. They don't know they're being tested for their narcissism and their bravery and their fidelity, right? That's why I say loyalty is royalty, ladies. Were you loyal to your man? No, right? Your average marriage ends at 8 years on average because she's a sexual narcissist and a wealth narcissist. Okay, she likes money, she likes power, she likes the government because it can give her money and power, and she can do legalized kidnapping and extortion with the corrupt government to deny the man fatherhood because she wants to be a bully as a fifth wave feminist, right? So they collude. Birds of a feather, psychopaths flock together. Well, the judge doesn't care about proper parenting. If getting rid of the father is a bad idea, they don't care if they get paid, right? If they destroy the family, the nuclear family's gone, but this judge is getting paid to be corrupt and to be a psychopath and to not care about those issues, right? The child will do worse across the spectrum without the original father. Essentially, they have no one to impress. Where's my dad? What the fuck is this, Mom? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this random guy? Who is this guy? All those random guys are just to fill her fetish as a sexual narcissist. She doesn't care about parenting anymore. She got rid of the dad, right? She doesn't care about dignity or respect. She's a parental narcissist, right? It's Munchausen by proxy. She's a pretend parent, a phony parent, right? Do women do better than the men at parenting? Well, no, right? Women beat toddlers more than the men do. They're more physically abusive with toddlers. Did anyone bring that up? No, they didn't, right? Pearl did. So women are missing that women's liberation was not an organic movement. That was actually funded by the Rockefellers. This is not a conspiracy theory. They wanted to get women out of the house. It's in the documentary Freedom to Fascism, ladies. You should watch that.